So to recreate this map in City Skylines, I first had to install the image overlay mod from the Steam Workshop. Then open Photoshop and create a 15,000 by 15,000 pixel canvas so that it would fit perfectly into this City Skylines map editor. Then I had to find a map of Westeros on Google, copy and paste that into Photoshop, resize the image to fit the tile and then export the canvas. Open City Skylines and make sure that the image overlay mod was enabled and then go into map editor. We then had our overlay of Westeros on our base canvas and it was time to get to work. So I began by cutting out the basic outline of the map using the terrain tool. This took about an hour to complete, so let's just skip to the end. Now that we have our outline, we could flood the map with some water and see it in all of its glory. Next, I added some of the different terrain throughout the map. To do this, I used an external reference image which I was working from on my phone. The terrain part was probably the hardest part of this recreation, as there is no accurate reference as to what the terrain was actually like in Westeros. So I just tried to make it look as realistic and organic as I possibly could, and I think I like how it turned out. By the way, if you want to download this map, you can do so right now. There will be a link in the top of the description. It's 100% vanilla map, so you are not required to have any external assets to run this in City Skylines. After the terrain was complete, we started to add some of the trees and natural ground resources so that this map would actually function in game. After we did that, we could start to put some of our networks and roads in. For the highway, I just used one main highway which went from north to south and will be the modern day version of the King's Road from the actual books and TV series. Then I added some of the other connections such as the train connection, the ship connection and the plane connection. After that, I started to recreate some of the castle ruins on the map such as King's Landing, Winterfell and the Eyrie. The actual timeline of Game of Thrones was in 298 AC, which is after the conquest of Aegon Targaryen, but without getting too nerdy, some studies state that the events in the Game of Thrones were based around the 1400s, so you can imagine that these castles, especially after being demolished by White Walkers and huge dragons, would not be standing today. Just keep in mind that I made this map for a bit of fun, and it probably will not be the most detailed, most optimized map on the workshop. Speaking of detailed and optimized, you should probably watch this video of how I made a realistic and detailed theme park in City Skylines. See you next time.